All right, welcome to another episode of Ganked, where we show you the right and wrong of your fits and the utter stupidity sometimes. And sometimes people are just really unlucky. But in this episode, believe it or not, we normally don't have many that are over 30 billion. We have multiple that are over 30 billion this time, including one that is 117 billion on the kill mail. And so let's get started. We are not going to cover just freighters, although that's what we're mostly going to focus on. We have a few other ships in here as well. And really, it's just impressive loss numbers on some of these. Like, what the hell were they thinking, right? So here we have our first one, which is an enforcer, and 14.5 billion. 14.5 billion. Was he carrying something that was worth a lot? He was this modified damage control was worth 11.2 billion. Okay. So did that really give him enough more on the fit to try and withstand stuff like this? Because in all honesty, it seems here that two ships took him out and in high sec. So, and these are all ganks. These are all in high sec. They're all ganks. There was no war on any of these. These are all other players sacrificing their ships in order to kill yours in hopes that the loot drops. And look at that. With Crimson Harvest, 90% loot drop, somebody got this single module worth 11.2 billion as the loot. Good job, gankers. And here's one that's a freighter that's worth less than that. Here's an Avalanche. Newer stuff to the game. 42 pilots involved. Looks like maybe they were all catalysts. And it dropped 2.7 billion. Wow, that's actually quite a bit destroyed for there being so much... such a high drop rate. Wow, he was full of stuff. Why would he be carrying all this stuff? So, folks, holy cow, it just goes on and on and on. Let's see here. The Avalanche itself was worth only 2.9 billion and dropped 2.7 billion, and there was a bunch more destroyed. So there was something in here that was worth a lot. Here, an Astro House worth $1 billion. And let's see. Oh, that's only $1 million. Yeah. No, that's $2 million. Huh. I don't know. There's something more here that was lost that was worth a lot. Oh, what? He was carrying skill extractors? What? Okay, folks. I gotta tell you. In case you don't know, skill extractors, you do not have to transport them. You can use them remotely. Or you fly the character out to them and use them there. And this is 10 skill extractors, so this come from one of the packs, like one of the codes we sell on our store or something like that. I do hate to see it whenever somebody buys something from our store and then they show up in a kill mail immediately afterwards. I feel bad for them. But, guys, redeem these where you're going to sell them at or use them at. Because you use skill extractors to extract the skills out of a character, and then they become skill injectors. And they're worth even more. That would have been 10 billion, almost, if they were skill injectors. And if you're going to sell them at Jeddah or something, you go and do this at Jeddah. That's how you do it. You do not need to carry those. Those do not need to be carried. And he was going through Udema. Like, why? Why? Did he think that this would defend him? By the way, I can't tell you what the right fit is for these because I haven't flown one yet. But what I will say is that there is zero reason to not have bricks here. I can't find any reason to not have bricks here when you have propulsion. The propulsion, if you roll an abyssal propulsion that gives you a better cycle time, you can get down to 7.5 seconds to warp on this ship. 7.5 seconds. There is no amount of items that you can put in your lows to get 7.5 seconds. In fact, there's no amount you can put in there to get 17.5 seconds. In fact, there might not be any amount you can put in there to get 27.5 seconds. Need I go on? 18 billion. 18 billion on this one. Oh, okay, another one in Udema. And this is a blockade runner. So, all right, is this just... Well, now, wait a second. How did they catch him? There's all these people here. How did they catch him? I can't believe it. These can get to warp really quick. And you can't scan them. You can't scan them. So he had to be flying really dumb in order to be caught. I don't understand it, unless he was autopiloting. But this right here, he's 17.39 kilometers away from the Stargate. That tells me that he came through this Stargate and then was going to warp someplace else. And so, we have here, there's more pilots. None of them have a scram. There's no scram. How did he die? I don't understand how he died. Unless he went to make a sandwich while he was flying and forgot he was there. I mean, he has a freaking cloak too. I don't understand how you die in a ship like this in this manner. I don't understand it. And what was he carrying that was worth so much? Skill injectors! Oh my God! Are you serious? I have no words. I have no words. There's no way that they knew that he had this much stuff on him. You cannot scan these. You can scan the fit, I think. You cannot scan the cargo hold. There is no way that you would know that they had this on board unless there was a spy. Somebody he was working with who set him up. I said that we had multiple here that were over 30 billion. Well, guess what? Here's our first one. Oh my God, look at how he's fit. He has the wrong fit. He is speed and cargo tanked. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to laugh out loud. That was pretty rude. What the fuck was he thinking? Okay, so, all right, so he's in the forge. He's headed to Jeddah, because this indicates to me that he appeared on the New Caldari Stargate, was going to fly into Jeddah. He dropped 51 billion. 51 billion is what he dropped. Oh, he was in a plastic wrap. Now, wait a second. Is this what... Okay, so plastic wrap, for those that you don't know, is a... it's a contract that you put money up in the value of this for the privilege of hauling it, and then you get paid whatever. If this is where the 50 billion was, I'm looking. There's a lot of stuff in here. What the hell? Who makes a contract this big? And why? I don't understand. So, God, it just keeps going and going. Oh, it's just a copy. I'm like, holy cow. No, those are just copies. Okay. Yeah, here's 1.2 billion. But where's those? So that was 51 billion. Okay, so out of that whole package there, 51 billion. This was almost 100% drop. Okay, so there are two things here. There's this one which is not worth very much. This is an appropriate size and value for a contract that you would run in a freighter like this if you need that much space. Otherwise, you'd put it in something else. Moon drill armature. That might be big. I don't know how big that is, but that might be big. And then you've got all of this other stuff, which is just way too much value for a single contract. Anybody who takes this much in a contract is, well, there's a couple things. One, if you are putting stuff up as a contract, you don't put this much up. I mean, you can. Obviously, somebody will take it. But if that's 50 billion worth, and I don't know how many jumps it was, but 50 billion is going to pay, it should pay 50 million per jump. So, 10 jumps would be 500 million, and so on. So they saw this guy, and maybe he didn't go through Udema because they ganked him in Jita. Why wouldn't they get him in Udema? Or maybe they didn't see him until he was already in Udema and scan him. But anyway, wrong fit. It's the right ship. Wrong fit. He should have been brick tanked. And while we have Crimson Harvest going on and it's a 90% drop, I really recommend like 1 billion cargo is the most. Over that, and the cost effectiveness of taking you out or attempting to tank you out is really, really good on the ganker's side. It's really good. So another one, unexplainable. But that's not all. But wait, there's more. Here's one for 31 billion. Oh my God. Oh. Okay. So, well, he's in a Nomad. Oh wait, he's in a Nomad. There's no wrong fit in a Nomad. I kid you not. There's no wrong fit in it. It's the person flying it that gets things wrong, not the fit. And So, Injita again. Okay, what was he carrying that was so valuable? Had 21 billion here. Dropped 16 billion worth of stuff. All right, this looks kind of like so let me say too, there's no amount too high for a jump freighter as well. And it's really because you should not be dying unless you shouldn't be dying in a jump freighter. There's just no excuse for it. What happens is people get impatient, or they think, oh, I can just fly it all the way up to Jita. Nobody's looking. Right. Nobody's looking except for those guys that are looking at you. When done properly, it is the safest ship in the game, in my opinion. Jump freighters are the safest ship in the game. And really, it takes multiple characters to fly them. It takes 3. You have your jump freighter pilot, you have your Sino pilot, and you have your scout. You need all 3 of those. If you've got all 3 of those and you do it right, you will never, ever die in a jump freighter. Ever. Just never. And so there's not much excuse for this. Not much excuse. I love the way that a Nomad looks, though. One of my favorite looking ships. Yes. And if it was not, so Nomad is for speed, for alignment. Rhea is for cargo space. Obelisk is, or not Obelisk, but Ansher is for tank. And it's what is it called? Is it the Providence? Or the Amar Arc. The Arc is for resistances. So, and kind of all around, jack of all ships. And anyway, any one of them are fine. I prefer the Ansher. I have a video to prove why I prefer the Ansher. I made a mistake. I got shot by a Nyx, and I survived. I did. And I was at an NPC station, and it cost me 400 and some odd million ISK just to do the repair. Oh my goodness. It was awfully glorious, right? All right, so here's another one, a Providence. Okay, so he's tanked properly, but he's in a Providence. And he's carrying way too much. What's going on with that? So, why? 10 billion worth of Morphite. A formula. Now that formula, let's see, can you research formulas? I think you can. If it's been researched, it's worth 3 times as much at minimum. Let's see here. This person is an industrialist, and yeah, they dropped 17 billion worth of stuff. Man, and oh, look at this, Injita again. Injita again. What's going on? Oh wait, 90% drop right now. Because of that, it's much more cost effective, even if you have to bring more ships to get you in Jita. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So, here's another one, 25 billion. What the heck is going on? Right? Where are all these people coming from? It's a Rhea, so the fit is whatever it is. Again, in Jita, coming in. Oh, now that's interesting. Okay, so I do have some other comments on this. And one is that is that, all right. I'll give you a little information here. They've got a plastic wrap, and they've got isogen, 30 million isogen worth 11 billion, and then it's got other stuff in here too. And it's got a skin, a rattlesnake luminaire polaris skin. I don't even know what that is. Might be worth a lot. This was double wrapped too. There's multiples of them here. So, yeah, there's multiple things here, and they were both double wrapped. So one is most freighters will not accept something double wrapped, and they don't like it because you can't see what's in there. So when it's a single wrap, then what happens is that I put it into the cargo hold here, and then it shows up as a sub item here, kind of like these ships. And then you can click on it and you can look at the contents. But if it's double wrapped, you put it in here and you can see that there's another plastic wrap in there. You cannot see beyond that, which makes it very, very bad because you don't know what you're hauling. And so, if I were a space trucker and I was carrying something that I knew was valued at like what? They're going to value that at like 11 billion or some shit like that. And it's double wrapped. I might just bust the wrap and fail it. I might. I just don't. It's not the way that I roll. So the in this case, there's a large amount of stuff here, and it's probably too big. So if this was not in plastic wraps, if this was all individually, then you could break it down smaller into a regular freighter and take like 1 billion per trip. And it'll take you, 10 trips or whatever from the connector from low sec to high sec, wherever your jump freighter comes in. But then beyond that, you use a regular freighter or a DST or something to haul the stuff into JITA. But if it's this valuable going into there and you accept the contract, it better be paying really, really well. Like something like this, probably no less than 1 billion to transport it in. Now, with that said, that's really high stakes money, and it then maybe becomes worth it. And so with that, there's someone at my door. Okay. And my wife heard me say that, and she's like, I got it. Okay, great. So, if you are going to run something like this, and you need to bring it all the way in, then a jump freighter can have a higher tank than a freighter, especially the Answer. This one is second lowest tank. The only one that's lower is the Nomad. And you would put bricks here, and they would be ore bricks. So they would be the ore version, just like these are probably ore expanded cargo hold, yeah. And the reason is that the jump freighter can get much higher EHP. If I remember right, the Answer bricked can get what? 700, 800,000. Maybe with implants you can hit 1 million. It's been a long time since I have run my jump freighter, and so I don't remember. But it is much higher than a regular freighter. And so if you have to do it all at once, you have a couple of things going on. You still use your 3 characters, and you have one that's a scout that's in the next system. You have your jump freighter character, and, well, no, you need 4. You need 4. That's right. Because you have your emergency Sino that's lit too. So, your emergency Sino, for if you spot trouble and need to get out of there, you immediately jump. Your Scout, so that you know what's in the next system. Your your Jump Freighter character, and then your Weber. Your Weber. You're going to fly something like this, right here. You're going to fly something like this that has really long distance on the webs. This has 20K. So this is, you might fly the frigate version of this. This one's the cruiser. And but with 20K webs, you can get to warp at around, from when you appear and fast targeting and setup and everything, around 5 to 7 seconds, you can get to warp. So you can get to warp pretty fast. But you still need all of that in place in order to do it safely. And people who do that, they typically run all 4 accounts at the same time. So anyway, I don't know what to say about this. I think it's a poor choice to take a double wrapped plastic wrap, and you need to blacklist whoever gave you that wrap. What a bad wrap. Yeah. So, and then 19 billion, another RIA. Okay. Not fit wrong, although I would just go for the ore stuff so that you can get more space, because it doesn't matter, right? So you just get the ore stuff, and then they were carrying 7 paladins. All right, yeah, and they dropped. So there we go. Okay. Well, I don't have a lot of complaints about their fit. I go all out because you're not supposed to die. Where were they? Oh, another one at Jita. And Jita sure is popular right now. Here's a Charon. 18.6 billion. Well, at least he has brick tanks. Okay, but they're the wrong version. Okay, so first off, you should be flying an Obelisk. Second is you just use Tech 2. These are worth too much. See, that's 524 million for just the 3 of those. And if you're going to have only $1 billion worth of cargo right now with the 90% drops, then you've just used 500 million on your 5% more tank. So, and this is just a bunch of stuff that's all loose. It's not in a contract or anything. Oh, oh man, 16 Gila blueprint copies dropped. Dude, it says that they're worth, a 16th of a ISK or whatever. Those were worth a lot more than that. A lot more than that. So this right here is a perfect example of what not to do. Make more trips. Don't be lazy at all. Don't do it. That one looks like it was probably just ganked with nothing in it. This one, a Providence for 10 billion. So, and he's speed fit. I don't even know. So, yeah, how much did he drop here? 8.5 billion. Another one. Oh, and where was he? Well, at least he was someplace else other than Jita when they got him. So, yeah, each of these guys have a lot of kills. They are just, they're just fat and happy out there right now. There's nothing to stop them from doing more ganking. Here's another 10 billion in an Obelisk. Was he at least fit right? He is, but carrying way too much value. I recommend 1.5 billion, maybe 2 if you're really feeling lucky in high sec when you are going through places like Udema. They got him in the Forge. They got him in Jita. And so if he's thinking he's going to fly around with 8 billion, oh, and it's more than that, because these formulas and stuff, I'm not sure that they're, valued right. Yeah, lots of stuff here. So another industrialist being lazy. Come on, guys. Okay, so let me put it another way to you here. And that is that you have 9 billion worth of stuff that needs to be hauled. If it's really big and going to require a freighter, really, you're going to put like $1 billion in a contract. You're going to pay somebody $1 million per billion of value per jump. So if it's 10 jumps, you're going to pay $10 million to have $1 billion transported. It's going to be 1% of the value of what you're moving. Just pay somebody else to take the risk, in all honesty. You don't need to do it yourself. I love flying my freighters, but I won't put in a huge amount of value into them unless I'm flying like station to station. If I'm going through a gate, if I need to go through a gate, maybe I set up a scout or something like that, and I wait for it to be empty. And then I fly my 10 billion through. I don't do it when there's others around. And I certainly don't do it. Yeah. All right. So we're going to do this one last because they're the winner. So let's go up here first. This one's in Udema. This is a Providence. They got the right tank on them, but it obviously was not enough. And they're just carrying too much value. Too much value. Way too much value. That Asbel, does that have to be transported in a freighter, or can you run those in a deep space transport? I'm not sure. All right. And this one, oh, it's a Nomad. For 10 billion, there's nothing in it. Nothing in it. All right, so here we are. Drum roll, please. This is an ARC. It's a jump freighter, so I can't give them any shit about how much they're carrying or about whatever their fit is. They're fit just fine. But, oh, it's a plastic wrap? What? Holy cow. It's a contract. And where did they get hit at? They were coming into Jita. Oh my God. It's a contract. What the hell? All right. So while we slowly go through this and look for faults or for the how much we can't believe that this is worth to find the smoking gun, but on the way, we got a song for it. This guy wins the song. 30 billion in the hold, except it's 117 billion.
Your style really tanked. Flying that big ship, now it's spanked. Wrong fit, wrong ship. What the fuck were you thinking? Now your wreck's on the grid. Your rep is sinking. Haulers blues, what were you smoking? Cargo worth a fortune, now you're choking.
I'm looking for the big stuff.
30 billion in the hole, that's bold, inexperience, motherfucker.
There's an 18 billion
that
item.
Cargo's worth too much, you dumb fuck. Thought you were clever, but you're shit out of luck.
11 billion.
Flex tanking might
Officer
be bold,
modules.
but it's a joke in the harsh void of space. You're now broke. Haulers blues, what were you smoking? Cargo worth a fortune, now you're choking.
2 billion.
30 billion in the hole, that's bold, inexperience, motherfucker, you've been trolled. You're a dumb motherfucker, acting like a space sucker. But really you're a fool in this galactic pool. Shouldn't
so
be
much.
flying, cause all you do is dying. In the cold of New Eden, your tears aren't worth buying. Paula's Blues, what were you smoking? Cargo worth a fortune, now you're choking.
1 billion,
30 billion in the
4.7 billion, 9.2 billion.
Motherfucker, you've been trolled.
Another contract here. I actually don't have any problem with a jump freighter carrying this much. They just flying it wrong. Oh, there's some original blueprints in here.
Learn the ropes or keep buying ships and crashing hopes.
Is actually worth about 4 billion.
In New Eden,
4.5.
it's a hard knock life.
If it's researched.
So fly smart and avoid the strife.
This one too. Yep. A hubris copy. Oh, that's worth something. It says 0.01. That's not right. This is worth more than 117 billion. More. Oh my goodness. What the hell? This in all these blueprints, 3 to 5 times the amount if they're researched. 3 to 5 times the amount if they're researched. So this is not 117 billion. This literally could be a 200 billion-ish kill. I mean, honestly, look at all these. All these blueprints. This is somebody's entire game being moved in one shot. There's no sense in it. No sense in it. Unless you put up like, now think about it. If you're a jump freighter pilot, would you accept a contract that was worth 200 billion? Maybe. I mean, not many people have that much money to even accept that. But if it paid you like 20 billion to haul it there, then maybe. This is just incredible. This is Squiz. If you are watching, can you do an offset for researched for blueprints, blueprint originals? Figure out what the formula is for how much it actually costs. It's somewhere between like 3.5 and 4.5 times to fully research it. The value of it is what it costs to research it. And so we could have a secondary amount here that is the researched value. And then we go from 117 billion to 200 billion. In all honesty. This is a rage quit right here? Yeah, well, we've seen that before. I just hope that the person who is I hope they had good insurance. I mean, in all honesty, I hope they had real good insurance. Real good collateral on this, because that's massive. That is absolutely massive. I mean, you just can't make this up. So, and this is a logistics guy. He knows what he's doing. If he's in a logistics corp, it's probably coming out of Null, and he probably knows what he's doing. But these guys who shot him knew they were doing better. Absolutely. People get complacent, they get lazy, and they make mistakes. Yeah, that is absolutely incredible. All right, that's it for this episode of Ganked.